It's easy to say that shouldering heavy sandbags requires a lot of power, which involves triple extension in the hips and requires the hips and the legs to be explosive. Similar to a barbell power clean, to get the bag to the lap, it requires elements of a dead stop row and a deadlift put together. That's what it looks like on the surface. But what if I were to say that it's not all what you see on the surface? Is there more of a finesse element to heaving heavy weight to your shoulder, plus a little bit of time under tension? From progressively overloading into heavier weight, naturally the lift becomes slower and more finessed than just raw power. While it still requires a degree of power to get the bag to the chest, once the bag is at the chest, the finesse element kicks in from the chest to the shoulder, plus some time under tension that has proven effective for building muscle. Shouldering a heavy sandbag is something that requires power out of the gate at first, and then some finesse the last few critical moments of getting the bag to your shoulder, especially with a bulky and heavy bag. That moment of getting the bag to your shoulder is always going to be a slow process that involves the legs, the chest, and the shoulders. The best way I can describe this step is that the body is working at 100 miles an hour, but only moving at 3 miles an hour. I would consider this the time under tension part of the lift, because this is where the most tension is applied. Where the tension is directly applied on a smaller scale in the shoulders, the biceps, and the chest depends on many factors like the shape, the size, whether the bag is partially filled or firm, your technique, and position of the bag on the body. On a larger scale, the core, legs, and upper back will always be under tension for bracing during the lift. It's a combination of concentric and isometric muscle contractions with not only this, but pretty much every exercise. You definitely can't rush getting the bag to your shoulder. And when you focus on finesse, it unlocks a lot of potential strength gains that absolutely translate to lifting something in the real world. Ultimately, I've found that the best way to finesse the bag to your shoulder is to simply not rush the lift. Slow down. Rushing the lift can almost guarantee a missed rep, resulting in wasted energy and less total volume at the end of the workout. As you increase the weight, the technique will change and the lift will become slower naturally. The key is to get the bag high enough from the lap to get enough leverage down low and underneath to slide and heave onto the shoulder in a smooth fashion. As the weight increases, technique changes. It forces you to cut down on steps to become more efficient. Shape, size, and filling of the bag has an effect on technique as well. There's many ways to shoulder it, and it's all in finding the most efficient and sustainable way. There's no wrong or right way. I would say the only wrong way is a missed rep. With the sheer heaviness of the bag, especially heavier than your body weight, every rep is going to force your body to adapt and grow. When you have one heavy sandbag at one weight, there isn't an option of having a light day. It's either you're going to do it or you're not. Sometimes there's days where you're not. And that's okay, because consistency in the long run outweighs the off days substantially, I've found. The whole purpose of my journey is to prove that you can build astronomical amounts of strength with muscle on top of it. Training with a sandbag-based approach by showing it over time. In modern fitness, sandbags aren't the most ideal way to build muscle because they may not be optimized for that based on the principles of bodybuilding. But what sandbags are optimized for is shocking, forcing the body to adapt and grow every rep, every set, from start to finish. And when you cut all the endless theory and fluff out and optimize hard work and consistency, that's when the results are going to happen. Well, that'll do it for this one. If you have any questions, anything to add, leave it in the comments. Thanks for being here, and until next time.